No, we have not shown the film yet. We're about to show it. Can we show that first?
No, I mean, has anybody not seen the film before?
There's only one person besides me in this audience who has seen it.
Okay. All right, we got. Say hi to Garrett, who plays James.
It's gonna be a
Hi, Garrett.
Hi. So dark.
Say hi to Zach, who plays Peter.
And then VLC is the thing. If you pull down to the bottom, VLC is the thing that gets traffic.
And here's Danny, who plays Lily.
Hi, guys.
Thanks, Utopia Con. We really wish we could be there, but we're glad to be there in digital spirit. So we hope you enjoy the film. We'll try to keep quiet, but we'll see how that goes.
No, feel free to comment, but we're definitely going to watch it now. Okay, without further ado, this is Severus, Snape, and the Marauders.
I wonder what it's going to be like. I'm so excited.
Keep doing it. We love it.
I've seen your ID. Boy, have I seen your ID? Okay. Let me get to more. I enjoy a good story. It's nothing special. Try it.
Gary, you look just as excited as when you watched it for the first time.
I'm excited. Don't interrupt the movie, Justin. Are you going to the party tonight, then, Remus?
I think so.
Oh, you should be, Remus.
Yes.
With Mary, right?
How did you find out?
How do I find out about it?
Have you not seen the letters? We've all seen the letters. We assumed you did.
They're not letters.
They keep sliding under our door.
No, that's not letters.
So you'll take Mary. Yeah, we're going to take her. Peter, who are you taking?
I think I'm going to go sad for once.
Oh, wow. You're going to take your shirt? Yeah, you changed your shirt. I'm trying to be honest. It's terrible.
Terrible shirt. Terrible shirt.
See if you just see it now.
Yeah, I wore the best, almost. You're right, mate.
Yeah. You don't look so good. Favorite time of the month's coming out.
Come on, it's not for any more days.
Yeah. Celebrate.
Celebrate.
Oh, what? No more! That's right, cheers.
It's those dingy robes and for something a little more respectable. It's just a bit mature, it's all.
Yeah, you covered me.
Where's Lily?
Obviously getting a snack. Get around. Their favorite pub.
Funny woman, up to you, eh?
No, not Miley. But she, it's different. Right, maybe there's more like this. It'll be nice.
It is not. Best thing we ever did was making that man. I reckon it'll make us legends.
And that would be anything else. Yeah, so you want to stop saying?
Imagine things are going to change.
Yeah, sure. Everyone's going to go their own way and get jobs, but we'll stay together.
Don't mean it like that. With what's coming. Some might fight with us. Some might get killed. Some might fight against us. People we went to school with facing us on some battlefield. All I know is we're not going anywhere. And not one Death Eater's going to have a row with us so long as we're together. What if it's a threat facing us? Someone under the Imperious curse. Or worse, someone who wants to be there. Someone who Snape.
Whew. Snape fans in the house. Snape fans in the house.
No.
Whatever, go.
What? I'm serious.
No, you're serious. Come on, we're not gonna see.
Hey,
No, we'll take
that joke works.
Well, you said it yourself. We're all going our own way. Where do you think he's gonna go?
Slimy kid feels like a child, my cousin.
Yeah, so let's take care of him now.
We're not going to kill him. And beat him up is only going to piss him off worse. Look after what you did.
Or what I did. Oh, when I saved him from you after he went sneaking about.
Yeah.
He just enjoyed. This isn't about Snape, really, is it?
No.
That's what he wants to have trouble.
Look, we need to make sure he fears us when the time comes. I'm gonna do it. You understand? What about the rest of you?
You know, I got your back.
Peter?
There's no more curses to you than any of us do. We'll be fine as long as we're together. Right?
Foreshadowing.
Remus!
Save your risk.
Peer pressure.
Come on, come on.
Fun fact, the order that they get up is the order that they die in.
It's not a fun fact, it's a sad fact.
Opposite of a fun fact.
Oi, have you seen this ID? What do you want? You're not welcome here.
I'm minding my own business.
It's a shame that I mind it too.
Bring me around.
Let's make an excuse. Come on! See the smoke? He's a Slytherin recently graduated. And stay on your guard around him.
What are you spaced?
Oh, against one. Very brave. I don't need them spectating. I'll never forgive you, you know that? I reckon that's why you're here. I named things after what you called her. Mudblood.
She called someone else a werewolf. Perhaps the ministry would like to know.
James, this is going too far.
How to hear the lot of you now!
Fine. I'll give you what you want. Not here. In the perfect place. Gentlemen. Come on, then.
I wonder who that's for.
For my beard.
James! Awesome.
Magic.
What use the... Lily loves
Watch
us.
Remus. Did you catch him giving Zach chocolate?
If you beat me, you stay away from Lily. If I beat you, you stay away from Lily the rest of your life.
It's not some fast one.
Then you forfeit. It's fine by me. Come on, Snivy. Give me a good one. Right to the jaw.
That beautiful jaw.
What?
Thank you.
Well, that's awesome.
Pettigrew.
Stun it on us!
Wonder who's pro James and pro Snape in there.
Yeah, right. Go, James. He's the best. You're the greatest, James. Your hair's so perfect.
He said he could handle it! He's already lost the match.
Serious.
Get it!
Cheater!
I hear cheater.
Sirius, no!
Too late, James.
Got him on the rope, Snape.
We can do it.
Oh, they probably noticing Zach's spells, or Peter's spells.
Peter's failed.
God, Peter, learn how to operate. God, Peter, get in better shape.
It's tougher than we expected. I'll give you that. Right off like in the front. We have 3. Great plan, James. 1, 2, 3.
Grab him!
James is a dick. James is a dick.
A lot of pressure, man. Ignore the fact that he exists. Really.
I can't pretend anymore. You've chosen your way, and I've chosen mine.
Over 9,000!
Wow. What an explosive response.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
Come on! And the Oscar goes to Kevin Allen.
Jesus here. Appreciate it. Was it great times? Perhaps. No. Strong wizard. Self.
Not the face! Not the face!
Alright, Severus! Alright. It's Severus now, is it? Just, please. Please what? Please spare me. Is that what you want, Arthur? You think between X and curse before it is you take away the one person that I ever cared about and you brush me off. Yeah, what it's like to be me. You have no idea what it's like to lose nothing! You're right. You're right. Sorry. Sorry. You're sorry. Now that I've bloodied you up, now that you feel me. It's all right, Arthur. Don't ask me any longer. No, Severus, that's goodbye, Arthur. Severus!
Whoa!
Have you gone mad? What are you all doing? You think that one last row would solve everything? And what with it?
Snape done fucked up. I'm sorry, I'm ruining the tone here.
I won't ever forgive you for this. You tell me what you've done. You tell me right now. All of you. What are you doing that? To say what?
To say that I'm sorry.
I don't deserve that. I know that. I've lived these past few years.
To my best friend, I ruined it. I ruined it after calling you that terrible name I don't deserve to call anyone.
I just came to try to tell you how horrible I was. How grateful I am that you were there for me when no one else was.
Oh.
Feelings.
I have to drink you.
Oh, well.
And you still console people like Bellatrix. Show me, Severus. Show me, and I might believe.
And then Snape had to walk home.
Shh.
I hope to see you again.
That's all there is to it, really. I imagine yeah. Well, they will be coming back to this paladin anyway.
I understand. I know what it feels like to be such a kid. But others fear you for your talent. In fact, I think you have exactly what I'm looking for.
Oh, no.
Living for our ranks.
What ranks? Who are you?
You know.
Woo!
I think we lost him. Did we lose him?
I think they're in shock.
Testing. Testing. Oh, no.
They loved it so much that they broke the internet.
Oh, good.
It's a good thing I didn't spoil the end of the movie. Oh, wait! Sorry about that. So how are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Welcome to Thursday.
Annie, it looks like you're at Starbucks like Kevin was that one time.
No, I'm one step above Kevin. Not more than that, but just one step above. I'm in an office building hallway. Check it out.
Oh, I thought you were in a coffee bean. Yeah, nice.
Nope.
Get
Utopia Con left a call. Oh, bitches.
They'll come back.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Maybe they didn't like it.
Ah, I missed it. Like, I wanted to hear the end credits where everyone freaks out. It's not fair.
Here, we can recreate it for you. Ready? Ready? Okay, Black. Set it. Oh!
Okay, You guys, I'm going to screenshot us so I can post it that we were doing a conference call with Utopia, but I want everybody to smile so we don't look like we're just sitting here staring at the screen. Ready?
Sorry, okay, ready?
One,
sorry.
1, 2, 3. There we go. That was cute. Zach.
Zach, talk to me real quick. Okay, you're really quiet, but
so far away.
Speak into the microphone, Zach.
Yes, sir.
Shut up, Garrett.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
by
up?
the way, Garrett, I was watching the movie through your glasses.
Please tell me those work.
Oh, they work.
Oh,
They
dude. Yes. Oh, this is like we're playing a Steam game. I love it. I'm so
Why do you
excited.
think I own these?
That's not duh.
Online shopping? I don't know. You can
Yes.
haggle prices.
I want it cheaper. Cheaper. My boss.
Sell. Oh, man. So what did everybody get up to today?
Working and trying to get meetings for the feature, and that's about it.
Yes.
I have a crappy audition tomorrow I was studying for.
Hey, look at that. What's the
It's going to be
audition?
crap. I hope I bomb it.
What is it for? A reality TV show?
It's for a stupid movie about gangsters and how drug busts go wrong, and I'm this stupid girlfriend that has 5 brain cells in her head and it turns out to be an FBI agent. I'm like, I freaking hate that kind of role. That's terrible. Ugh.
Yeah. All that range and being in the movie the whole time. That sounds terrible, Danny.
Yeah, I hate that stuff.
Yeah, it's like it's like Mick. Oh, there they are. Are they back?
Okay, we're back. We're back. Can you guys hear us?
Yes.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Oh my God, that was amazing!
Yay!
There it is.
Canon, you turn the lights, we can see them.
Yeah, we want to see you guys.
What happened?
They saw us.
I didn't know I was that frightening to look at.
Oh, you're pretty, Garrett. Don't you worry. But this is the real pretty one right here.
Which one? Who? Oh, you?
Talking about me? Me. It's me.
No, not Danny. This is the
No,
real
it's that.
pretty one.
Wait. You.
Who?
No,
Wait.
no, it's Zach. That's right. He's not wrong. Zach's beautiful.
Zach's got those headphones, though.
Dude, those headphones, though.
I can hear things and say things.
Just turn the lights on. Just turn the lights on.
Yeah, turn the lights on.
Can we get house lights up, please? House lights, come on.
Everybody's in like a...
Yay!
Oh, there they are.
Bring the monitor up a little bit. I want to see like the group. Like I just see the front row.
Always a director, Justin.
Yay!
Wow.
I can do this and make you a little nauseous. You know?
Like virtual reality. Except it's real.
All right. Let's talk. Let's discuss. I want to know what you guys think. What you guys want to know.
So while we lost you, the question that we asked was, so what did you guys think?
So, guys, this made me think of all the movies in a whole new light. Seeing this happen, it very much was a changer. For
Oh yeah.
The setting of all the other movies.
That's
I'm not sure
wonderfully
I really like
flattering.
I'm not sure I like it, but yeah.
It just made me love Snape more, which, you know, was not that hard to do anyway.
I know.
Well, Justin, you said that when we were talking earlier, right? Can you talk a little bit about the response that people have had to this film? Because obviously you showed the Marauders in a slightly different light.
I mean, I showed them in a light that I saw them as. I don't know if I showed them in a different light because there's always room for interpretation with those characters. I wanted to tell a story that showed a final conflict between Snape and the Marauders. And while the response has been very overwhelmingly positive, there is a group that doesn't agree with the way we portrayed the Marauders, especially James Potter, saying that he grew up, he matured, and it says so right there in the books. And what's interesting is that on the same page where Sirius and Remus said, oh, he grew up, he grew out of his bullying ways, he also said, Sirius Black said that he considered Snape to be a special case, and he would still hex Snape, and Snape would hex him right back during their 7th year while he was dating Lily, and didn't tell Lily about it. So that meant that there was a piece of James that still had to be worked on. That's what this movie is about. It's about their final confrontation and how James's maturity has not escaped Snape yet. James's immaturity when it comes to Snape is still there, and this is the moment in which it is gone. And for me, in order for that to happen, in order for that to happen quickly, there needs to be a drastic change or a drastic moment in that person's life in order for them to make a change as big as not confronting your rival anymore. And I felt like James needed to taste the humble pie. But at least that's how I see it. So for me, James grew up in privilege. He didn't really have a lot of challenges in his life. So when he dealt with a real situation where, because of him, his life was put in danger and his best friends' lives were put in danger, his perspective changes. He becomes humbled. And that's when he finally moves on to being a real man, a real adult. And his decisions become much more cautious as he goes into the Wizarding War. And that's when he becomes the man for the next 3 years that all the teachers and friends talk about, because he did become a good man. He became a very good man who didn't confront anybody anymore unless he felt it was necessary. So that's what this movie was about to me.
Right. I have 2 questions. One of my big ones, though, is I feel like Lily, although we don't see her much, perhaps, in this film, has one of the most powerful roles. This is Janet talking, and I know you can't see me. But,
yes, I agree.
But what I would say is, like, that very last scene where we see Voldemort, come on. So not fair. I feel like that scene could have gone a lot differently, or the answer that we don't see, or the conversation that happens that we don't see could have gone a lot differently if Lily hadn't hugged him and give him this opportunity to redeem himself. Because we see Snape look at his wand and really think about that and really take everything that Lily says as gold. And if she hadn't hugged him, and if she hadn't given him that opportunity to prove himself, that conversation at the bar at the end could have gone a lot differently than the rest of us know how it ended up.
The glimmer of hope.
So I find Lily as this extremely powerful character in this short film, even though we don't see her perhaps as much. What was that like for you playing her and having these such pivotal lines and scenes as small and as potent as they were?
It really made everything heavy. It took a lot of work to figure out what Lily was all about, because we know snippets of her, we know the end of her story basically, but we don't know that much of what fabric was woven to make her the blanket that she was, so to speak. So it was very introspective, and it was actually really fascinating because, like you said, she does play a large role not only in this film, but I believe in all these characters' lives, because she's kind of a hub in a way, and she connects the 2 worlds in a way.
And it was interesting that you mentioned how Danny creates profound motivation in Snape, but the conversation he has with Voldemort I left very much open-ended without an answer. Like, Snape doesn't say, okay, I'll join you, or no, I won't join you. It's left very open-ended. Even though we know he joins the Death Eaters, I wanted there to be a level of ambiguity to let the audience use their imagination as to what he decides to do next. Obviously, you're not going to say no to the Dork Lord when he's right in front of you, but...
The Dork Lord.
The Dork Lord, yeah. But I wanted that. I wanted to make sure that there was that sense of conflict in his head. Lily said what she said, show me and I might forgive you. Then the first thing she does after that is pick up James and put her hand in his, implying that they're not leaving each other, which leaves him conflicted again. And then while he's drunk, he's got Voldemort in his face. So it was meant to be ambiguous, but Lily's words were meant to be poignant enough that he thinks about them when it matters, meaning when Lily's life is in danger, when the prophecy is foretold.
I thought the music was phenomenal. I would love to hear how the music I mean, just I can't even believe how significant it was for this small film. It was so brilliant. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Alexander Arntzen.
Hey, Justin.
Yeah.
Real quick, I need to take off.
Okay.
But it was so nice to meet all of you guys. I'm so glad that you enjoyed the movie, and freaking rock on, man. I hope this inspires you somehow. Bye, guys.
Bye, Danny.
Bye, Danny.
Hi, Danny.
So yeah, the music it was composed by Alexander Arntzen. He is a 23-year-old prodigy, and he. I've been working with him since he graduated high school on all my films. He worked on my last Harry Potter fan film, The Greater Good.
Oh, fabulous! Oh my God!
Thank you. He worked on the 2 Batman fan films I did. He worked on my college thesis, and he's going to be working on my first feature and all my features from then on until he gets too busy working on other major motion pictures alongside Hans Zimmer and John Williams. He's really that good. He's
Heavy breather much?
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
yeah, and it was important to figure out the themes for the characters. So the Marauders had their theme, na 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 na, and Snape had his theme, na 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 na. But when you listen to Lily's theme, it actually melds with Snape's theme. You can actually put them together, and they'll have the same tone and harmony.
That was a great rendition of both of those themes. I wanted to say, Justin.
I'm good. But yeah, that's how brilliant he is. He tries to find story-driven reasons as to why the music sounds the way it does, and he also set the tone to be a little darker than most Harry Potters, because it's at the peak of the Wizarding War. The Order of the Phoenix is not winning. It's meant to be the tone of the Deathly Hallows, and he pulled that off. He's brilliant.
Yeah. Do you guys have questions? We might have to repeat it, but feel free to raise your hand and ask questions. Okay?
What was it like playing Peter Pettigrew? Because he's such a freaking coward.
What was it like playing Peter Pettigrew? Because he's such a effing coward. Oh, sorry.
Cowardice comes easily. No, it was actually a lot of fun to get to play someone that, since he's so reviled, attempt to give him some redeeming qualities, since he hasn't yet become the horrible, horrible person that he's doomed to become soon. So I had a lot of fun doing it, and Cowardice is just fun to play on screen. It's enjoyable.
But did Snape know he was an animagus? That was my question.
No, we bent canon a little bit there. I'll tell you that right now. We bent canon in favor of telling a compelling and fun story. We know it's fan fiction.
Anybody else? Okay.
I thought that the Peter character was hilarious. I was wondering if some of the funny stumbling and the little one was that directed or was that just you?
Did you hear that, or do I need to repeat it?
Yeah. It was a collaboration. I definitely brought a lot of things to the table, but Justin was just as much saying hey, you should try this. This would be good for, and we made it work.
Does anyone else think that the casting was spot freaking on? In your head, can you imagine what these characters look like? I would have been oh yeah, of course, that's all of it. I mean, it was spot on. Kudos.
Thank you.
Thanks.
How long did the whole process take? From casting to done?
Let's see. I wrote the script started writing the script 3 months after Greater Good came out, which was December of 2013. Casting happened 4 months later. We had an Indiegogo, which failed. 4 months after that, we did a Kickstarter, which succeeded. Thank you, everyone who donated to that. That movie is the thing that makes the movie so cool is that it literally is a product of the fans. They paid for it, and that's amazing. So, 1 month later, we got a call from Warner Brothers saying, "Please don't raise any more money." then because it's their intellectual property, and technically that is violating on their intellectual property, they were still very cool about it. They said you can keep the money, you can send out the perks, you just can't raise any more money because we feel like that's like you're trying to make money off of it, and you're gonna pay people, and our perks were merchandise that is related to their property. We tried to make sure that the perks were stuff that Warner Brothers didn't officially sell, but they didn't care. So, and they said change the font of the title, which turned out to be a much better looking font than the original Harry Potter font. It gave the film a sense of identity. And then 2 months later, we shot it. Took 4 days to shoot. The last day was torrential downpour rain, so I was in an utter panic as I wasn't sure if we could shoot the whole thing, but we did. And then a year of post-production of music, visual effects. It was a year straight. So that's how long it took. About 2 years.
You can tell the effects are amazing. Can you guys see?
The effects are everyone in here is talking about how great the effects are. Do you want to talk about that for a second?
Sure. I had like 5 artists this time. I only had 2 on Greater Good. Jake Acuna was the visual effects supervisor and came up with the look for the spells and the shields, and I really wanted to emphasize the shields. The paintings were done by a woman named Amy Carpenter in London. I shot the paintings themselves of the different people. Did anyone notice the 4 founders?
Yes.
I did.
Good. So there's the 4 founders in the background. There was also Aberforth Dumbledore and Ariana Dumbledore behind Remus in one of the paintings. Yeah. And then a couple of people who won contests, fans who won contests, as well as the guy who used to run and founded IQA, International Quidditch, the Muggle competitive Quidditch that goes on across colleges, Alex Beneby. He was holding a broomstick. And the guy who did Fiendfire, the 2 Fiendfire shots that we now affectionately call Friendfire because the Marauders wouldn't use Fiendfire, would they? Is done by one guy named Julian Rodriguez, and it took him 6 months to get those 2 shots made.
But they were stunning.
Yeah, they are
Stunning.
Yeah, we love watching people's reactions to that shot.
I want a poster of that. Can I get that?
We were gonna make one. And it just kind of never really came. It never really worked out. Like we were just out of time, but we were gonna make one. A 27x40 of Snape facing the Fiendfire Animagus animals.
Any other questions? Questions? I mean, I've got plenty. So if you guys don't have, my question is in the books. I always thought that they were supposed to like say a spell before they were actually able to do magic. Was that not the case? They were able to just fight like that.
When you get advanced enough, you can do nonverbal spells. And we kind of debated on like who could do what and like at what proficiency was everyone. But at the same time, when everyone says their spells all the time in a fight on screen, it's distracting.
No, I agree. I mean, I love the way it is, and I personally thought it was just a creative choice. But I'm glad to know that I was wrong about that.
Yeah, it's a combination of canon and creative choice. Like Expelliarmus, like Snape could probably do that without saying it, but it's more visually impactful if he says it. Fiendfire is a very difficult, hard spell to control, so you would say that out loud.
Oh, the cutie.
I'm freaking out over the cat.
Crookshanks.
He is Crookshanks' son. His name is Pimp.
Has anyone here seen The Greater Good yet?
No.
I'm sorry?
Raise your hand if you have seen it. So just 4 of us. Okay, seriously, get your butts on YouTube and watch The Greater Good. It is how many views does it have now? Like it's 4 million, 5 million, what?
It's 4.5 million.
What? And that one is the story of...
That one's the story of Dumbledore and Grindelwald when they parted ways as teenagers that culminated in the death of a family member.
Dumbledore and Grindelwald. Does anybody have questions for James Potter? I'm all embarrassed. What?
How did it feel playing a jerk?
Okay, stand up.
How does it feel playing James as a jerk?
It felt pretty good. Not gonna lie. It's very funny because I love James Potter, and every time I get to read the books, I like to imagine myself as James Potter. But he is a bit of a jerk in this movie, and that's on purpose. There's a lot at stake for him and his friends. He's trying to protect the people he loves, especially his girlfriend Lily, who he really cares about, and who he's thinking about changing his whole life for. And the one person that can undo everything is Snape. So James is willing to do whatever it takes to protect the people he loves. And yes, he's a bit of a dick. But that's just the way it is.
You notice there's a tone shift in the movie. It starts out with James being a dick, and then it turns into Snape being an attempted murderer. So I wanted to create a bit of a balance between James, and then it turns to Snape. Like, when Snape is pushed too far, he could have walked away, but instead he Crucio Sirius, he Sectum Semper's Remus, and he nearly kills James. And when Lily shows up, it's almost like it neutralizes both of them. The first thing James does is admit that everything was his fault, and then Snape gives the most sincere apology of his life to the only person that he would be capable of doing that to. So there was definitely a lesson in maturity about how they both are jerks in their own way, and Lily is the one to balance them out.
I have an interesting observation. I've just been sitting here listening, thinking about Peter. For me, it seems that Peter may have been the one to do the connection between, Voldemort himself. Was that intentional that you led us to think that way?
Well, the only intention I had with Peter was to show the potential of his eventual betrayal. His arc was really fun. He goes from being comfortable in his own skin, which he wasn't even very comfortable in his own skin when we saw him in Snape's Worst Memory. And I wanted to show him starting to mature a little bit. Then, as the fight gets worse and worse, we see his comfort zone disappearing. Like, we actually see his bravery when it's 3-on-1 and James is saying, get in here, and it's because he's at his strongest when he's with his friends. But then when his friends are literally separated via explosion, that's when he can't fight his nature anymore, of being scared of people in power and reacting to that via
subservience.
Subservience, exactly. Yeah. But now that Voldemort knows that, Voldemort probably keeps it in the back of his mind for the future.
Do you think the Voldemort connection to Peter was before this happened? Especially when you think of the conversation in the pub before the action kind of started up?
No, it happened a year before James and Lily died, which is 2 years after this film.
But you can see the foreshadowing because he starts, like, I could really learn from a wizard like you when he's talking to Snape. So you're like, okay, we see where this is going.
Yeah.
Well, Zach, what do you talk to me about how you work that out?
I saw it as just the beginning of his fall into darkness right there. I think things were hunky dory up until the events of this film. It's kind of the opposite of James. James begins to grow into a good person because of the events of this film, and it kind of is what causes Peter to do the exact opposite. So it's a catalyst.
It is crazy how, to me, insightful you guys, how in tune you are, not only Justin with the story that you're trying to tell, and the actors with the characters they're trying to portray. Like, to me, I'm just so incredibly impressed with that insightfulness.
Thank you.
Knowing that backstory and feeling that You know, I mean, these are a group of writers and readers, and I'm just incredibly impressed.
We're people who connect the dots, so we definitely are kind of putting you under microscope here. So.
Exactly.
I want to know what moment in the books it was that inspired this particular story for you.
Oh, I said it earlier that, well, actually, the inspiration for Snape and the Marauders was I did a poll for the fans, and I asked them what they would like to see next, and they almost all said they want to see a story about the Marauders. So I read all 7 books again, and the Marauders' relationship with Snape is something that cannot be ignored. And there was just a couple pages where Harry asks Remus and Sirius why his dad antagonized and bullied Snape. And Remus and Sirius answered the best they could based on their characters, and said all kinds of things about James to defend him, but at the same time told some truths. And one of them was that James considered Snape to be a special case, and Snape and James would still hex each other through their 7th year, even though James had stopped bullying kids because he felt like it, and his head deflated a little bit, as Sirius Black said. He still had animosity towards James because Snape was perpetuating it. The only reason why Snape didn't perpetuate anything in this film is because he was there for one reason, to try and apologize to Lily one more time before he left, and in his mind probably went to the Death Eaters, but he wasn't entirely sure. At least that's how I saw him. So just those couple pages where Sirius and Remus are trying to explain Harry's father realistically, without throwing him under the bus either, is what inspired me to tell this story. How did James fully mature? How did James become the good man that everyone loves to talk about, but until Snape's memory, people neglected the bad parts about him? And I wanted to explore both sides. That's why before Snape even shows up, we see James as a very friendly, caring person whose first priority is to take care of his friends. And that's why Remus brings up that he's nervous about him transforming again, and James reassures him. But then Snape shows up, and the film literally changes tone. It gets a little darker. You see James in shadow as he turns. It's supposed to bring up his feelings about Snape in one single emotional shot. So that's the inspiration behind the final conflict between James and Snape.
Do you guys, like, when you hear them talk about, like, sort of the symbolism they create through the visual medium of cinema, it makes me think about, well, gosh, do I need to go back and watch all the Harry Potters and see if they did it there too? Because clearly he's thinking this deeply about it. Like, maybe I need to watch it 17 more times.
They did do it that way.
Snape's worst memory was poorly portrayed in the movies, in my opinion. The reason why Snape's worst memory is his worst memory is because he blurts out mudblood, calls Lily a mudblood, and then loses his only real friend in that moment. That's why it's his worst memory. In the movie, it just shows him being bullied by James, which is important for the movies because they have to stick to Harry's perspective very specifically, because you only have 2.5 hours to tell a story versus an 870-page book. Right. So I understand why, but they missed the most important reason why Snape's worst memory is his worst memory.
And I always find it interesting in the books when Sirius almost gets disappointed in Harry because Harry's not as adventurous or as reckless as his father.
In the movies, he says, "You are so much like your father," and I'm like, he didn't say that. In the books, he's like, "You're not really like your father," and I'm kind of disappointed.
Not as reckless.
Sirius Black is a very different character in the books.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just asking, are there more questions? I know there was someone back there that maybe had a question. Has it been answered? Feel free to stand up. Ask questions, guys. Do not be afraid.
I wanted to go back to the images of the fire.
You want to go back to the images in the fire?
Were those
Patronuses,
images, yeah. But in fire.
In fire. Okay, she wants to talk about that.
Okay.
Because I don't remember seeing a Patronus image in fire. More of the.
No, it wasn't a Patronus. It was a fiend fire, and it was in the form of their animagus.
Okay.
It was the only way that I could show their animagus forms without them turning into animagus, because there was no room for the budget in that.
What you did was
awesome.
gorgeous.
It was gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It on paper, it's controversial because that's dark magic, and the Marauders wouldn't use dark magic. But this is war, and just because a person doesn't like to use a gun when they're in war doesn't mean they won't shoot the gun. So that was kind of like pushing the theme of the Marauders' maturity and immaturity are being put into conflict due to these extraneous circumstances. But also, look, I just was like, how do I show the animagus? I want to show them. How do I do that? And Fiendfire seemed like the closest thing I could think of.
It was super cool.
It was super cool.
Yeah. Anybody else? Questions?
We were talking there, we were wondering about the decision to have Voldemort have the snake-like face.
Yeah.
Kind of seems like that happens when he comes back, as opposed to.
That is the #1 criticism the film gets, and I defend my decision, and I will tell you why. Voldemort was born in 1926, so 18 years later, he graduated Hogwarts. That's in 1944. 10 years later, 1954, he comes to Dumbledore to apply for the Defense Against the Dark Arts position, and this is in a memory that Dumbledore is showing Harry from the Pensieve. Harry notes that while he's doesn't have the mask snake-like face yet, he does have very pale skin. He does have permanently bloody eyes, and his skin's complexion is pasty and burned. So that's 10 years after he's graduated Hogwarts, and he's got at least 4 Horcruxes. So our film takes place 24 years later. It gives plenty of credence as to why he would be even more transformed and much closer to the version of Voldemort that we know in Goblet of Fire when he was resurrected. And while there's lots of theories by fans as to why he looks the way he does when he was resurrected, I tried to take all the empirical evidence from the book as much as possible. And one of the things that I noted is that when Voldemort returned, nobody made a second thought about his appearance. Nobody said anything, which led me to believe that he must have looked very similar before he fell to Harry. But I did keep the crest of his nose. His nose wasn't completely flat. I could have done that digitally, but I felt like, well, he's not 100% transformed yet. So, but I want him as close as we can.
Boom. Anybody else? Questions? Janet?
Lloyd, talk so I can take a picture.
Justin, say
so I
something.
can take a picture.
What? So I'm talking, and there's this talking stuff, and when I talk, I use my hands a lot.
Very
and
good.
I'm trying to explain things in different ways so I look intelligent. Intelligence really helps when it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Really busy.
It's, as Eddie Izzard said.
This has been amazing. Is there anything we can wrap this up? We so appreciate you taking the time. And Justin, don't think I won't try to get you here, all of you, at some point, because I know you're going to be making more films. So.
Well, I'll tell you guys the hard truth of what's going on. Warner Brothers said we could make more fan films but we can't raise money, and the only way we get that kind of quality is to raise money. And we can't do that through private sources. So creating a film of this quality isn't really in the cards anymore. That doesn't mean we're going to stop telling stories. We have an idea, and we are writing a mini-series that is going to be played out as a radio drama.
Ooh.
Well, when you do that, you hit us up.
Of course.
You guys were amazing. We really appreciate you being here, even as interactively, and it's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guess I'll sit.
Oh, this is-